Oh shit, I gotta go
All,
good.
all right. Welcome back to Half-Baked Thoughts on Training. We've got myself, Steve Rose, Waffle Iron Jim. We've got Scance. We've got Paul Foss. We've got Big Eddie. Shit, I didn't say big for everyone else. And then we have our special guest. We have Jake. Jake, this is going to be a rant. I don't know how to pronounce your last name. There's six different ways that I could pronounce it, but I don't know which way is which. So I'm going to let you introduce yourself.
Yeah, you have to say it the most German way, and that's probably the most correct answer. So, Heidenreich.
Okay, because every
Yeah,
time I say Eastern, I
Heidenreich.
always want to say heed.
yeah,
I always want to say heed, and I'm like, that's wrong because
yep,
it's Heidenreich.
yep.
And then I'm just like, okay, I'm not
I
German enough, and I'm not Midwestern enough to say like Heidenreich
Yeah, I get
to
a
like
lot
butcher
of,
it.
typically I get Heidenrich, but
thank you.
Okay,
uh, yeah, Heidenreich. So,
perfect.
yep.
All right, and with that, we are good to go. Jake, do you
We
want to
are
give a brief overview of who you are, what you've accomplished in every strength sport that you've done, and all of the coaching that you've done?
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
lay it on
Turns
So,
us.
out we have listeners, so
yeah, awesome. Yeah, I've been competing in strongman for this summer will be 10 years of competing in strongman, and done powerlifting throughout that as well. And yeah, just love lifting weights. I've lifted some pretty big numbers, lifted at some bigger competitions. I did official strength games back in 2021. I'm pretty good at overhead pressing, big weights. That's
pretty
usually
good.
what I'm known for. And yeah, now I've been coaching people specifically for strongman for a couple of years, but now like in the past year, we've really ramped that up. Um, and so I got a good arsenal of athletes, some pretty very strong guys like Big Scance. He's been with me for over 6 months now. We've been making some good gains, and yeah, it's been going great.
Haven't died. I'm good.
That's all we can really ask for at this point,
That's
you
it.
know.
I
we,
think
we
you
were
looked
hoping to
younger
have
than
you on.
ever.
We were hoping to have you on to just berate Scants for like an hour.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Tell us
Scance,
about your worst
Scan,
athlete that you coach and why his name
yeah.
is Scance.
This one candy
What
ass
is,
that can't do friggin' front lunges.
who is
Oh,
your
my knees hurt.
who is your worst most Canadian athlete?
Yeah, you know, it's definitely that is definitely Scance,
It
but
is. What a loser he is. Oh wait, shit. Is there two of us? Damn it.
Don't tell Lydia.
Yeah,
yeah, it's Scance is a
Technically,
Scance
whoever.
is
there's technically
you know
three of you.
as much as there are some difficulties that come with coaching old man Scance. Sometimes he forgets to read certain pages of the Google Doc. Sometimes he
Well, he
I
doesn't read.
I did
Well,
four-fifths of what you asked me to do.
did you write it in French?
Oh, I should try that next time.
Yeah, it has to be written in both English and French,
That's it.
Okay.
especially if it's slander.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the RPE column out and put a French column instead.
Especially on the side of a truck too.
Joke's on you. I speak both languages. I never tell people that because French people will talk around me because I don't sound like I can speak French. And suddenly
Mhm.
you comment on what they said and they're like, yeah, that's right. Je parle cacon.
Always keep
That's
them
how
guessing.
I. That's how I am with Spanish. And let me tell you, when I start speaking in Spanish to a group of like real Spanish speakers, this is not the face they expect to see.
Yep. Yep.
Never assume.
In seventh grade, I only learned one phrase. Well, there was like a couple of phrases, but there was tais-toi, fermez la bouche, and then I learned how to say tu es gros morse, which I got to be able to use at the aquarium in Quebec when I saw a walrus because it just means you are a fat walrus.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
So that was a bucket list item.
Very nice.
That could be a weight division at the Liftard Levesian strongman, Fat
Yep.
Walrus.
There you
I
go,
like
Fat
that. I
Walrus.
like that.
It'd actually be the better one would be the Grofuk, which would just be a fat seal. But
There you go.
Oh, that's perfect.
This we'll just come up with secondary names that are all just French slurs for all the different weight classes. Fat Walrus can be the masters, and the Fat Seal can be the big men light.
Oh my
it'll be
God.
definitely be light because they're right slender,
Yeah, yeah.
Streamlined. Streamlined.
It's streamlined.
skinny. Until Hogan comes in and wrecks every goddamn one of them. Holy Jesus, man!
Yeah, did you watch his live stream last night? I didn't watch his live stream, but I saw the clip of him. He did 405 for 10. It's pretty
Yeah,
awesome.
On
dude,
what?
he's what
Uh,
rocking like 170 pounds or something.
yeah, he conventional deadlift 405 for
Dang.
10 last night,
Yeah.
and
Wow.
he
Wow.
yeah, he's definitely not. I don't believe he's over 180 right now.
No, I think he's
Damn,
I think
that's
he's towards one.
strong.
I mean, he's circus dumbbell and triples at 130. I think it
Yeah,
was
he's
a couple weeks ago. He's like friggin' taking off, man, like a rocket.
yeah, watching him and at Crew Falls, watching him do that circus dumbbell, it's like, wow, this is your movement. You crush
Oh,
this.
yeah,
Except for taking off his ear.
Yeah, he did kind of.
superfluous, just cartilage, man.
Well, it
Yeah,
was in the way.
that's true. Just cut it off.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, Hogan's crazy, crazy strong. Since the first time I met him, it's like, God, man, it's like he
Yep.
just keeps getting big, a little bit bigger slowly, and just like keeps getting stronger. It's like there's no limit for him. I mean, the only limit is just going to be like how much weight does he want to pack onto his frame, and then
Yeah.
like how much that's going to hurt his leverages.
But given what he's doing strength wise with his composition, he's gonna be like one of these. He'll gradually make one of these U90s that's like axle pressing 275 for reps. You know what I mean? Like he's just
Yep.
Be a
he's
monster.
he's his numbers are just going through the friggin' roof and like exponentially going. It's not even taking time. It's just every time you turn around, yeah, he's throwing three, four more reps on. Yeah, 4 or 5
So,
or 10. Like, shit.
Must be the
so
creatine.
Jake, for training somebody that's short like Hogan, like how much variation if you were going to train like, you have like your small, medium, and large. You have like Hogan, you have Scance, and you have Toby. If you're going to program those guys for strongman, like how differently you're going to try to program them just for like, lever lengths and stuff like that for pressing. Because like me being 6'3" with monkey arms, like I get burned out on pressing just because I have to press it so much further than Hogan or Scance. So like, what do you kind of throw in to make it bearable for
Yeah, I
everybody?
think the and Scance is probably like not the best example because like he's pretty just with like some of Scance's like past injury stuff, he gets a little bit limited with some of the upper body things anyways, which is fine, but like it that kind of puts him in a point too. And it's really I would say I don't know if I'd necessarily say with at least with like overhead press and that kind of stuff, I would focus so much on leverages as more like where are they at in relative because like it when you think about it in powerlifting sense, like you have to pay attention to that because you're always trying to push for the maximal. But when you have a strongman athlete, you're thinking about where are they relative to their class and what they kind of are expected to hit. Like there are some like maximal goals that you need to be like within striking range, but you also need to be able to hit reps or hit certain bare minimums in medleys. So there's a lot of variation just regardless of strength levels or leverages or whatever, but then it just comes down to like how good are they at it. Like Scans is pretty solid in his pressing. So is like a guy like Hogan. Toby, that's like one of his things like he's a little bit weaker at in relation to like maybe his deadlift, which is he's a deadlift
Mm-hmm.
guy. And so like that's where you kind of have to play with it. a lot of times when it comes down to like looking at that kind of stuff, what I'll often do is make like the overhead press. I'm typically like a 2 times a week overhead press kind of guy, but if it's a guy that's like yourself that would you'd think it would get burned out a lot or quickly by doing that much volume like twice a week pressing, then you just turn one of them into a bench day or an incline press day until you're like 8 to 12 weeks out, and then it's like, okay, now we need to kind of, focus just for a little bit on it. So at least they're still getting tricep strength in, because at the end of the day, if the pushing movement is stronger, it's still gonna do some sort of carryover.
Yeah, it's all tricep all the time. That's what you're telling me. Just like why my bench sucks so bad is I have no triceps and long arms.
Yeah, yeah. I think you gotta get when they made this new federation for the lift hard, live easy. You should have came up with a suggestion that there should be no limits on like hand width, and then you could have, put your hands out at the collars and just, looked like one of those 47-kilo women.
I can't arch like that, man. If I could arch like that and have a
Well,
super
if you
wide grip, I totally
say
would.
instead of rings, we put collar to collar, and you tapped it,
That
you
Here we
could maybe
go.
do something.
I
Here
could
we
have him.
go.
I could have him bring the arms in for my bench, so I
Yeah,
could go even
yeah.
wider.
Do the collar
Yeah.
act. Yeah.
There you go.
I love it.
It's going to make my somersault over the bar a little bit more difficult if the uprights are in, but I'll figure it out.
It's just a little limbo.
You'll be all right. You'll be all right.
Well, you got to step that up a little bit more. That was in the sanction meet that you got away with that. You got to do like a kick flip on a skateboard into that now.
Yep.
Mm.
Oh, dude, Jonah will have a fucking stroke if I somersault over the bar.
what's he
He's
gonna do? Red light?
Just
Is that who's running the
yeah,
meet now? Jonah?
yeah,
yeah.
Yep.
Jonah. So it's a Eleiko power bars for squat and bench, and then a Texas deadlift bar for deadlifts. I
Nice.
I really want to talk to Tanner, which if Tanner's listening, me and Bryce will bring squat bars up for the meet if we can use them. That way we would have two for the platform. You just have to get one maybe for Bryce to use in the back room. That's not going to matter for me, but it just is more fun with a squat bar.
Because they're going to do what? Eleiko power bars?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Tanner just did,
I can't afford one of those for training, so I'll just have to keep training on my Rogue Ohio power bar just to
Yeah.
get by. I guess I don't know. It's not going to be the
I
same as meet day, so I'll figure it out
I
somehow.
do plan on getting one of those Texas squat bars. I'm gonna take advantage of that whole FSA HSA thing they've got now
Oh, that's
and
smart.
get one for the home gym. That's my
I had bought,
justification now.
yeah,
yeah.
I had bought the Gen 1 ISL Fitness squat bar. It's a little whippy above like 600, but like I don't squat over 600. So not a problem for me, but it was like 230 bucks brand new.
That ain't bad.
Yeah.
Well, as you and I saw, Steve, Bryce is getting a Texas squat bar to whip with 655, which is just bizarre. Seeing him lift alone in his garage with 700 pounds on his back and watching a squat bar whip, it's just like Jesus,
That is
Bryce.
crazy.
The worst part though was that between rep 1 and 2, when he just like didn't wait for the whip and then
Oh
he just
man.
went down anyway, and it was so
Just
off balance, but he just like muscle tucked it for rep 3 and 4.
just
And then
horse
he was like,
cocking.
yeah, he just horse cocks it. And he's just like, oh, I should have done 5. And it's like, yeah, but like you should have done 1 and 2 correctly so that 3 and 4 didn't feel like shit. But I told that to him directly, and he was just like, you're right. And I was like, yes. It's weird when Bryce listens to me because I'm like, oh, fuck. If he gets injured, I am so screwed.
Yeah,
The thing is,
Paul, what are Bryce's thoughts on not having a squat bar?
his biggest squat ever is on a power bar. It was at the Ed Cohen meet last year. They're like 775.
Oh,
The
really? I didn't
biggest
even
thing,
realize. Yeah, I
yeah,
was, yeah.
that's a power bar meet. So he squatted 775, benched like
Mhm.
415, and then
Yep.
deadlifted 775 on a power bar.
I forgot. I was there. Yeah, I
Yeah.
completely forgot that it was all power bar. Oh, he's got no problem
So
then.
the biggest thing for him is training with the weight. It's hard for him to do multiple
Yeah.
reps with the power bar because he's so big, and he has an old Elite FTS rack that he can't get wide out on it because of where the J cups sit. It's really
Yep.
tight.
Yep.
So he can't get spread out. So then he just can't get the volume that he necessarily wants to get because it's just not as comfortable because he's
Yep.
fucking 6'8" and 370 pounds. So he's just like a big dude, and he just is trying to pack all that into such a small area with a power bar. Whereas with a squat bar, he's just more comfortable just because it's so much longer, you
Yeah.
know?
I mean, for me, it's shoulder mobility. It's not the 6'8" size because I'm definitely not 6'8". But yeah, I agree.
Not
It's the
with
same
that
thing. Like,
attitude.
I,
You
I
know what
like the
have this
wide,
problem,
like,
boys? 5'6" doesn't have this problem.
and that's
Yeah.
what powerlifting's. What
Fifth
is
grade
it?
was a great year.
Yeah, but yeah, it's I hear him on that. Like, it can be hard to fit inside the rack, fit inside the bar, especially with the power rack. When like mine is sized just properly, so like I can't get my hands to the collars because that's right where the J cups are.
Mm.
Okay.
So, but that's also why I like having my cambered squat bar, my custom made one that's wider than the rack so that I can get my hands to exactly the right placement I want. But yeah, it makes a difference in your training. I think that's one of the reasons
Really,
why Big Matt made his homemade monolift attachments to kind of give
yeah.
him
I
some more of
mean,
that freedom.
Bryce saw those on his gym tour, and he's like, "Man, I got to talk to him about getting a set." And really, Bryce needs to. Unfortunately, he loves that Elite FTS rack because he loves Elite FTS, but
Yeah,
he needs to go to a cage that he can just have like west side spacing for bench and just
yeah,
like a full squat cage, especially because someday he wants to try gear like single ply stuff. So it's going to be a
yeah,
lot better and probably a little safer for him to not squat 800 out of a half rack.
Mm.
Yeah, he needs a full rack.
yeah.
Isn't that rack that he has? Isn't it?
It's a
It's a half
double
rack
rack.
now. That's why oh, it's a double. I was thinking it was
It's a
like a.
double.
I thought it was
Yeah.
a
He
cage and he
only
took the cage. Yeah. Okay. Yep.
No, it's a double rack that he only has half of it up. It's
Yep.
huge, and he has the other half just laying on the side of his garage.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
What do you mean by a double
No,
rack?
Like
it's
it's
Like two
like
sides.
like
plate
a
storage in the middle, and it's two half racks.
Oh,
like a college
gotcha,
weight room
gotcha.
one.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep, yep. I gotcha.
it's ass to ass.
Yep, yep,
Ass to ass.
yep.
Deep cut.
That would be fun if he ever decided to set that up in there so you guys could like squat looking at each other.
You could
Listen,
do like a lady in
There's
the
a
tramp
I
squat
can't
squat
afford
battle.
to.
spaghetti.
I
You
can't
could like
afford to fall in love again, Jake.
You can't quit him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was already fun enough when he was benching and I was squatting the other night, so it was fine.
that's too.
Yeah, that has
And
be quite
that's why you're not best couple.
I know
You
we've
won't
been
commit,
robbed.
but you got to commit.
I'm
commit to the double
we'll just
rack.
get robbed again. We'll just get robbed again.
Well, commit to the squat. Commit to the double squat.
There you go.
With dongs.
Well, the thing is, it's gonna be so embarrassing when I'm struggling with 450 and Bryce has 800 on the bar, and this level of struggle is gonna be less for him as it is for me. And it's just I just can't do that to
Hey,
myself.
Well,
there's
that's in
always
your
one
head.
in every relationship. All right,
Yep.
it's okay. It's okay.
That's
That's
fair.
Just squat 500, and then that isn't a problem.
right.
Fair
True.
point.
So,
Partners help each other up, not
Yeah.
push each other down.
that's right. That's right. Oh man.
Have you tried just adding average bands to all of your squats, and then it still feels like shit, but you do the same weight as you do without the bands?
No, my coach hasn't programmed those in for me.
Well, your coach
Have you worn a
sucks.
slingshot on your thighs? That's how I cheat.
Oh,
shit, Jake.
I was gonna do that
There
for
you go.
bench this year at the lift hard.
Right.
So,
Unsanctioned now. Yeah.
That'd be hilarious. Just a uh, a slingshot on your thighs specifically
Yep.
for bench.
Help with your
Well,
leg press.
don't they have something like that? They have something like that. There's one hanging in Massonomics. It's hanging off the rack. There's like something you like attach it to the
Slingshot.
safeties and you sit onto it, or there's there's
Isn't
something
isn't
like
that
that where
for
you
isn't that
could.
for Tanner's isn't that for Tanner's kids?
There was I'm not kidding because there was a guy, his name was David that used to or Dave that used to go to the gym, and I swear he had this contraption from like Spud Inc. or something that was basically like a slingshot for squats.
Yeah, dude, that's friggin' that's
I
I'm gonna have
triggering
to look it.
up
I'm
here.
gonna have to look it up.
I
But
think I remember what
So
you're talking
they
about.
have a squat buddy that you
Yeah,
can put on your hips, and it's you could kind of call it like a slingshot. Like you could get the Mark Bell has the a similar elastic band that people put around their legs. I can't
yeah,
remember what
yeah.
it's
Okay,
called
yep.
now.
This is
Yep.
what I'm talking
And they'll
about.
use
Yeah,
that. They'll call them like monster walks or whatever, where you like walk around
Oh,
with
okay.
it
Yep.
side to side. Um,
Like in the warm up room before you actually start
yeah,
like
squatting. Yep.
Halo.
yeah.
Okay.
He sold. I think that's a lot of people say that's where he really made his big money, was selling those things that people put on their legs,
yeah.
because people in like aerobics classes would get them and stuff like that, and personal trainers used them, and get
But
all their
this is
clients to
like
buy them.
this thing is like thick.
Yeah,
Like
so
Yeah.
that's the squat buddy.
okay, yeah. There's one of these hanging off in Massonomics gym. Yeah,
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah,
that
so you just put it on,
they
and gives you a little bit of rebound.
it's like yeah. Basically, it's like a super one of those hip bands.
I'd choose
Hmm.
That
bondage swing. That's the easiest thing.
Nobody judges you. It's fine.
Yep.
It,
I might just wear some briefs under my singlet and just roll with
be like there was like a USAPL or maybe it was like an IPF competition a couple of years ago where a guy and it was over in Europe where a guy had a pair of wraps underneath his sleeves and the
yeah,
judge
Oh
like
yeah,
walks
yeah,
up and
yeah.
like rips him down.
yeah,
So I've
Was it like
always,
in Russia or something?
yeah,
Yeah.
I've always wanted to remake that video as a joke, at a meet. Maybe we can pull it off this year at the powerlifting meet. So I have probably like 5 bench heavy shirts, ranging from like medium to triple X. And I've like wanted to do it at an actual meet where like I go up and I do a bench, and then the judge calls me for being multiply, and he just like keeps peeling off more layers of bench heavy t-shirts.
Probably make that happen.
Maybe this summer, maybe since I won't be actually in the powerlifting meet, we can make that happen.
I'm just
We
gonna
can
get
Not
a.
have
with that
I'm
oh
gonna
not
get a
with that
singlet.
attitude.
well, I'm gonna be the announcer for it. So maybe that'll be
Oh,
part of like I do like a demonstration of like the
Maybe
lifts. And
Eddie's
then,
the exhibition lifter.
that's right. I'll do an
Yeah.
expedition bench lift,
Yep.
and then they can foul me out for
Oh,
being
that'd
I
be great.
think
multiply when I
I
signed up
think you
for.
could compete. I think you could compete and announce. Just put a headset on, and it would just be like a live look at what a powerlifter goes through. Just like a little headset, just like
Yeah.
you
Especially
just
when I hit the
purple
ammonia.
face. Yeah, purple face coming up from a squat, and just like screaming into the microphone.
I can bring you one of
If
my
there is no Jake heavy breathing, I don't want it. That's all I gotta say.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
I can bring one of my group fit headsets from work and I can have
Oh
you
yeah. Yeah.
there you go.
Oh, that'd be perfect.
Oh, that was funny. That's what Nate did mic me up last year. I was rather glad he did that. That was pretty funny.
It's like I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, but they'll you know how they mic up hockey players or football players for games and stuff. Every now and then they'll mic up like the little kids playing.
Oh
And
yeah.
they get a little 5-year-old playing
Yeah.
hockey, and
Yeah.
they're just like you got this. Okay, skate on over there. Watch that guy. So
Yep.
I want to hear your personal
Ooh, yeah, there we
journey to
go.
the bench platform. Okay, Eddie, you got this. You got this. Oh my God, what is that guy wearing? Holy shit. Okay, anyways.
Damn, that guy's chest is fucking
Oh.
huge.
Load the bar, load the bar. Say the bar is loaded. Say the bar is loaded. God damn it. Come on, say the bar is loaded.
So Jake, getting into the strongman talk.
Mm.
Any thoughts on the stones? Anything you can give away or hints or
Yeah, I have lots of thoughts about them for
confirm or
sure.
deny?
Are you
You can
are
ask
you
your.
gonna let are you gonna let anything slip in a video this year that I can pick up in that
I
nobody
sure
else
hope
does?
not. I sure hope not. I try to do better than I do
Nothing,
the
nothing
year
like a video
before.
of you taking things out of molds. Nothing like that would matter or be a
No,
foreshadowing.
those are for me because I'm doing a Max Atlas stone competition in April,
Uh-huh.
and so
Uh-huh.
I had to get some stones that weren't just 350 and 450. So
Oh,
I
jeez.
Okay.
need I needed some
I,
stuff that were I could build up to with.
I thought mine were bad at 305 and 335. They just sit outside though. I put them in timeout.
So I've got a question about that. Um, Speaking of like weights and like picking weights, like say for your Atlas Stone training, how do you go about picking the weights for the different classes? Is there any sort of a metric you use, or is there a standard that like you can pull from nationals and states or something? Or like, like we look at our divisions in the strongman competitions, we all have different weights. How do you go about picking that for the
Hmm.
classes?
Yeah. So I think part of it goes off of um
Dartboard.
Do you
so,
call
sometimes
Keith and then add 15 pounds from his PR?
we do start there sometimes. Um, Usually try to think about what would make everyone happy and then try to add a little bit of weight from there and
Good.
then wait
Add a
six
little
months
more,
and add a little bit more weight.
add a
Yeah.
little bit more.
But like for since Strongman has Iron Podium in the United States, and they have
Yeah.
a pretty decent search function on there where you can search up
Okay.
you can just type in like circus dumbbell. So like that
Okay.
was one when I added that to the medley for the lift hard live easy. I was like, man, I don't know what the right weight for this is. So I
Yeah.
typed in circus dumbbell on there and it can show me every single show that's got it, and then I can look at them and I'm like, okay, this one's a medley, this one's for max, this one was for reps, and I just started writing down weights at
Yeah.
different ones and just kind of compared them and kind of based off that. And then some of the other ones kind of sort themselves out of like, okay, I know like roughly what people in my weight class and the weight class below and above me are gonna do, and then just kind of like expand
Yeah.
upon from there.
Hmm.
The hardest ones are
Okay.
always like the women and
Yeah.
the novices because you just
Yeah.
don't like, especially novice is probably the hardest one because you never know what kind of novice you're gonna have. There was guys last year that like it was their true first show, they've never done this before ever, and
Yep.
they don't know what they're doing, and I feel like we're really gonna see that this year because there's like 13 of them right now.
Like, yeah.
But then there's also like a couple guys that are like, transitioning from powerlifting, or you have a guy that's like Andrew Garrison last year, and he's like a 280 pound guy, and then there's also Trevor who is a 180 pound guy,
Yeah.
and they're both like duking it out, doing great, but like it's so hard to like know what the heck it's gonna
Hmm.
yeah, that one's the hardest one because then you don't want people zeroing and you don't want people like sitting there just doing 50 reps like you know
Like when
so
we trick Bryce into doing novice Highland games this year.
It,
Don't
yeah.
even, dude. I competed at my first friggin' Highland Games against a guy near Bryce's size,
yep.
and he's just like, "Woof."
We
You know?
all did.
Yeah, and yeah, this dude is just like,
If you didn't, you got gypped.
yeah,
All right. That was if
no
you
Highland
didn't,
Games experience, but he's just like,
yeah, you got gypped.
just reefing weights for dirt. You know what
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
I told Bryce that he has to promise not to practice the lifts, and he just goes, "Can, can I watch YouTube videos and actually try and like learn about it?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's fine."
When are you doing Highland Games with Bryce? Or is this
In
just kind of made
September,
up?
so this is our new plan. We're all gonna go out, so you're invited too,
Yeah, you're
to
invited.
Eddie's Highland Games in September in Pennsylvania.
Okay. So I was like, wait a second, is there a Highland Games happening near us? Because I was like, what the fuck? I've been
No,
looking for one for like
mean?
3 years. I would love to do
We're
one, but they haven't been doing them for. in
So
South Dakota for a long
We're
time.
actually going to do one
Set-
Sunday after the meet in the parking lot of the Ramcota.
I
Sunday morning.
have I told Eddie that after year one, I said in year five we're gonna do a high or something like that. I remember I was drunk
I'm
at the
cool.
zoo and said at some point we're gonna do Highland Games at the
I'm
Lifter
cool.
I think year 5 should be a beer mile in Highland Games. No
I
powerlifting, no strongman.
But if you did a combined Highland strongman type of thing there, like they do
Oh,
that,
Oh
I thought
yeah,
you meant
they'll
beer
have like
mile.
5 Highland, and then like you'll do a farmers and a couple
yeah,
of stone
yeah,
loads or something like that, right? Like
yeah,
that's some good fun stuff, right? Something that you don't
yeah.
want to like. Caber toss is awesome, but it's very technical, right? But like
yeah.
Braemar stone, dude, just like a standing put, anybody
Yeah.
can do that.
Yep.
And
Hey,
the beer mile.
speaking of
Everything
kilts,
but mile is good with for me.
how did kilts fall in the approved gear for the strongman events?
What's
Any issues
approved gear?
there?
Well, yeah, what are you talking about? Approved gear
I'm
and
just making sure.
strongman.
I'm just making sure
Yeah,
we're all good, right?
it, as long as you're not wearing underwear underneath, we're good for sure.
I will be wearing underwear. I will be wearing underwear.
I'm going to
Okay.
be
It's a
wearing a
thong.
singlet
It's
made out
going
of
to be a thong.
slingshots. Is that okay?
That's actually I don't know if you know this, Jake. That's actually required in Highland Games.
That you don't wear underwear?
No, that you
That you
have to
do.
wear underwear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of figured. I was making a joke.
You'd be surprised how many people try to get away with it.
Yeah.
Like, no, 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 no.
Who was it? Matt Vincent got shit for wearing a fucking thong or something at nationals or something.
I
There was,
believe
oh,
it.
that's funny, and it's like, except that you're spinning around and there's a bunch of friggin' little kids and stuff like that, dude.
Yeah.
That's the kicker. So I had it one time. I was at a game in Michigan. One that like Big Brad probably knows all these guys now. Um, and he had on a jock strap. And so like the first 4 events, it didn't make any difference. But then as soon as we did our first spinning event, his kilt's coming up. And it was like, no, this is not okay. Like all of us were upset about it. And he was one of like the guys who organized it. And fortunately, someone came and actually put their foot down. Like, no, you have to go put something else on. Because, you got guys like me who invited people who work for a company I'm trying to get hired by, and they bring their daughters to this event,
Yeah.
So yeah, you get that kind of stuff.
Like
But,
dodgeball. That's rad.
what?
Dodgeball when they come out in all the leather.
Uh, yeah, that's right. That's right. Their uniforms got switched.
And Jason Bateman just everything's dead silent, and then Jason Bateman just goes, "That's rad."
It's like my favorite part of that is the dude has the ball gag in.
Yeah, he's wearing it, right? Like, why are you wearing that?
Well, he had to do the entire costume.
Yeah, I mean, gotta wear it, right?
It would be rude not to.
Bring
Yeah,
up to
Eddie,
you.
are you gonna bring in some more costumes with you this year to the Lift Hard Live Easy?
Why wouldn't I? I mean,
We
see, that's why I
everyone
need to
agree.
know more about this Stones event so I can have the proper attire, you know?
I'm not letting anyone have any tacky. So that
Oh, no
Oh,
tacky. So
okay.
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 no tacky
Idea
for it.
for idea for costumes for the Stone event. Wear all tie dye and Rastafari colors and get a wig with dreads. Be like, oh, wrong kind of
I used to
stone.
have one of those. I had a stocking cap with like knit dreadlocks that my
What do you
wife got
think we
me.
are, the Canadian Prime Minister?
Would Scottish attire be appropriate for the Rocks event?
Yes.
Or would it be
Yeah.
more like Icelandic would be the more appropriate?
Hmm.
We don't
I
want
guess I
to.
don't.
We don't
What's
want
the
to
difference,
appropriate
Eddie?
anyone's culture.
I think the Husafell stone is in Iceland. And,
Well, yeah, but like,
I think you need to look like the most like a South Dakotan that you can think.
there
oh
you go.
man.
I'm
Oh,
just
there
gonna
we
wear
go.
my old bodybuilding posing trunks back when I was 155 pounds. So
There you go.
that's cool, eh? Supportive.
Oh yeah.
The
Oh
really
yeah.
important stone question
Okay.
that needs to be answered is am I going to get access to some of those fields I see as I drive through South Dakota with all those beautiful rocks
Oh fuck, we're
that
picking
I
some
just
up,
want to
man.
take home?
I agree.
Honestly,
I
honestly, you could go knock on those farmers' doors if you're like, "Hey, can I go pick through your rock pile?" They'll be like,
Yeah.
"Yeah,
Yeah.
go for it."
Tanner was like,
yeah,
I'm going to ask him, and they're going to be like, why? Why
yeah.
does he want our rocks? And I'm like, just whereas like Scans is like, don't do it. Someone's going to take shots at us. I'm like, there's no crops. I
No,
think we'll be okay.
Yeah,
no,
it's
they're like, "Oh, you're gonna pick through a rock pile," and they're like, "You're
Yeah.
gonna take some of these? All right."
Yeah.
I
Right.
can remember when I used to pour concrete for grain bins, and one time my uncle found like, oh, we were digging up a spot and found a very, very, very large one that he wanted to take and go put it in
Yeah.
his yard, like one that probably weighed, a ton or something.
Yeah.
And we the had to ask the farmer, and the farmer's like, yeah, do you want like 50 more of them? Like, please get rid of them. Like, a waste of my
Yeah.
time.
I do want to bring home a stone this time.
Oh, we're definitely getting some, Ed.
Yeah. Yeah. I do like how there was multiple videos of people picking up Tanner stones like they're going to steal them. I'm glad I
Yep.
wasn't the only one who made a video like that. I don't know if mine ever got
I
shared or not, but
do you where I have like 4 or 5 in my front yard now,
yeah.
and I just drive around to the different housing developments and just
Oh yeah. Yeah.
putz
That's a good
around
way to
until
do
I
it.
see one, and then just roll it out, and
Yeah.
it's mine now.
Yeah, I took one out of a it's like a cattail slough that the city just has for like stormwater drainage. And
Oh,
it was just
nice.
this nice black rock sitting there. And I told Maddie, I was like, I'm gonna go take that rock. She was like, why would you do that? And then she didn't believe I was going to. And then one day she came home from work and it's just sitting in our landscaping.
There you go.
Nice.
There you go.
The day I sent Lydia a picture of a rock in the front seat of the car, all seat belted in. She's like, "What is this?" I'm like, "It's from the friggin' where they're doing construction up the road,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. I'm helping out. I'm doing my part.
That's it.
Yeah.
If you're cold, they're cold. Take them
Yeah.
in.
That's right. That's right.
It's not just a rock, it's a boulder.
That's
That's
it.
right.
I'm
It's a friend.
recycling. How dare you?
It's a pet. All right. It's a pet. You got to care for this rock.
Yep.
Let's see here. What other questions?
You actually prepared questions?
Say what?
Not
No, I did not.
He's just trying to
Oh.
find different ways to figure out what the rocks event is.
No, I want to move on past that. I
You're
kind of want to
you're
talk
ruining the
about.
half-baked thoughts.
I want 5 mystery events.
You're
Yeah, I
Eddie,
I
you're
would
making
actually.
this fully baked thoughts.
No, I'm
I
not.
think if it like, have you ever done a competition like that, Scans, where you didn't know what it was?
I have done
Yeah.
competitions where they had to shift events partway through because of weather, like outdoor comps.
Well, no, but like one where they said we got 5 mystery events, show
No,
up and be strong. Like
no.
Oh, that'd be great.
I think I
Sounds like
have.
an easy way to get hurt.
I think
They'd have to have everything so light
So
so everybody
yeah,
could get it. Like it sounds kind of fun, but like at the same time, everybody's going to get 100 reps on stuff or zero because it's just like,
yeah.
oh,
But
so
if
I
you're
think everybody should be able to deadlift 600.
no, but
And
if
it's
you're a
like,
good
oh, you get a
promoter,
bunch
like
of
if you're a good
yeah,
if you're a
Mhm.
good event coordinator that understands, okay, like, here's your lightweight masters, heavyweight masters, U90, U80, all that kind of stuff. You're going to select what it is anyways.
right.
so my
So
my first few events were like that. Because I didn't do a sanctioned strongman until I did the Lift Evil one in New
Yep.
Jersey with the boys.
Yeah.
So my first actual strongman events were up in school. We had some, just some like, we had a couple of guys at the school that actually did train strongman, and then in the next town over, they had a town that had strongman equipment and that kind of stuff, and few guys there who did strongman. So they would host it on campus, and it would only be students could sign up, and it was like you really didn't know what the events were, or there like might be a little bit of info, like yeah, you're going to do a yoke and you're going to do a deadlift at some point, and if we can set it up, we're going to have a truck pull kind of thing. Like you really didn't know what the whole day was.
yeah.
And I really had a ton of fun with it. And then when I was in Indiana, the big fair there in where I was at, like the biggest 4-H one in the US or something. They always had a free strongman competition, and like half the people that showed up were either farmers or CrossFit, and then there would just be other people that would just show up for fun. And it was another one where it was like you might have a little bit of information, but you really don't know. Besides, like, yeah, you're gonna have some sort of pressing event, some sort of a deadlift event, and like who knows what you're gonna get. But
Big
it's
Matt
not at all the same as Ascension.
Matt did one at a brewery where they said every event's a keg event.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but then they
that was
did
pretty
say
cool.
that's what I was thinking too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I want to say some of the state fair ones we did back in like 2016, like the beginning of my training, like were like what Eddie's saying, like it was like, yeah, we're gonna probably flip a tire, you're gonna
Yep.
deadlift and farmer carry, and that's all we got to know.
Yep.
Yeah, but I feel
And
like
like I did a
Tim
Hercules
at the state
hold.
fair ones probably knew those guys that were going to do that one, so they probably all kind of figured, or he knew kind of how strong everybody was that was going into it.
Yeah, and those are a little bit different too in the fact that it was just like there was no weight classes or anything, so it was just a free for all.
We
Like the
do a few of
jungle.
those up here. We'll do lightweight men, heavyweight men, like 220 over, 220 under.
Yeah.
Same with the girls. They'll do like a 160 over and under, and it's fun. Like it's just for shits and gigs. It's they're hauling lobster traps or apple bushels. Like they're
Oh
hauling
yeah,
some heavy
didn't
stuff, right? But it's fun.
yeah, Paul, you did one like that, didn't you? The Apple
Yeah,
one.
yeah, that one was fine. We didn't do really the only farming related things we did was a sledgehammer hold and a tractor pull. But the tractor pull was really hard because they had the tractor in gear, so like you could only pull it so fast and so hard. It was
Oh my
fucking
gosh.
miserable.
Yeah.
And then it was
what are they
like
trying to pop the clutch on you?
oh, dude,
Well, it was like it was
brutal.
pretty, yeah, because
With like a
they were
little
trying
bitty
to,
like half-inch nylon rope is what we were pulling.
Oh my
my god,
that's terrible.
Yeah, and then nothing in that. It was like a 650-pound yoke on gravel.
Oh
that
wow.
was,
And
yeah, I remember
then
that.
it was for my weight class was 405 deadlift, AMRAP in a minute. So I got 19. And then the last event was a sandbag over bar, and it was a 340-pound sandbag. Everybody zeroed it. I was the only one to lift it off the ground.
God damn.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. That's where when Scance is so adamant about good promoting. That's because of stuff like that.
There's one strongman promoter in the state of South Dakota that throws good events, and he was not involved that day.
But I mean, it's funny. Like if you have an event, an event where you want to do something like that, if you put a Trump weight in, that's cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you're going to get that one just brutal farmer that can pick a 340 with one hand.
Yeah.
But if you had like a 275 and a 340 or 300, 340, something that there's, somebody can either rep out on or just go for it for one hard rep or something, right? Like,
well, and like it should have been, you had like a 225 bag, a 250 bag, 275, and then a 300 bag. Then if like you have a really big ass one, and if you get that one, you win the whole event, or you try to rep out that one.
We did one,
so it's like, but it's like this was like all or none. Everybody zeroed. It's like, man, this was brutal. I moved the thing like 8 feet, and that was the closest anybody got to the yoke, and that was brutal. And it was the last event after I just deadlifted 405 for 19.
You're cooked, eh? Yeah, we did one last year. IMC that was they had about 12 bags, and it was a cumulative total. You had to load it in the back of a pickup, and whatever you loaded, that was your total.
Mm-hmm.
So like there was some dudes that were like literally grabbing the 100-pounders and like throwing it, 120, throwing it.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was a couple guys that went right to the far end and grabbed the 300+ ones and were like trying to struggle through. So it was kind of funny because it's a little tactical and
it's a strategy.
It was a very much for fun event, but it was a really good. I like the way they had it laid out.
I think I would have started in the middle and gone heavy, And then once I was wore out, then I would have ran to the other end and got the lightning
Yeah.
cord.
Well, I mean,
Oh,
but
that's
there,
good.
but therein
Smart.
lies the rub. It's what you're good at, right? Like, are you somebody that's got a hard, like just a
Mhm.
rock star engine on you where you can just go for 75 seconds fast, or are you
Yep.
a guy
Yep.
that gasses out? You're going to get 3 bags, so pick your 3 best, or
Yeah.
it was pretty funny, man. It was an actual fun event. The crowd was just like losing their shit because there was dudes racing and throwing bags from distances, and it was a really cool event.
Yeah.
I like it.
That's really cool.
Hey, so I'm having a hard time coming up with good questions because I'm not paying you for coaching. So I feel like a chump if I actually
No,
ask you legitimate,
that's dumb. You can
right?
ask whatever kind of question you want.
So,
This is what the
okay.
boys.
Okay. All right.
I answer training questions all the time
All right.
and
Well,
try to be as good as possible about that.
yeah.
Tanner and Dodds
Absolutely.
are the only 2 that watches, Ed, so it's cool.
So,
Can
question
you just,
about
hey
athletes.
Jay, just throw a bunch of shit that like will totally wreck somebody, so the Dodds will be like, "Oh, I'm gonna do that," and be like, he totally blew
Yeah,
it. Then
races.
I gotta like sneak around and just smoke his ass or something.
Braces.
So, Jake, it'd be a really good idea
Yeah, just
if
pull it with a
I started
jerking motion,
maxing
a
out on
jerking
deadlifts
twisting
every
motion,
day, right?
Just sabotage everybody.
like Arnold. Make sure that you yell when you go hands up. Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So seriously,
Yeah.
new events to an athlete. So, like for instance, the circus dumbbell is new for me, so I've been doing a
Yeah.
bunch of research on that online. The clean and press is, I would say, it's new for me because anytime I've ever tried it, like to actual do like Olympic style clean and press, I do terrible. So I'm
Mm.
like, so I'm watching a lot of stuff on that. Um, what's your Do you have any thoughts or progressions that you like to use with athletes as they go through that? Like,
Sure.
do you have just like a broad, like, where do you start when someone is new to
So,
that and they need to learn it?
so are you talking like clean and press of a circus dumbbell or clean and press just in general, like because of the tsunami bar?
I mean, both. I got
Or
to learn both. So
yeah,
let's start with the tsunami bar first. What would
sure.
you do to help an athlete prepare for that?
Yeah,
And
so this is the one that I've been telling people for like since we announced it. Like you just
yeah,
got to learn how to axle clean and press because
okay,
it's not that hard. Like the
yeah,
press portion of it isn't hard, and if you can do a decent continental clean, you're gonna be able to do this.
okay.
Um,
So, all right, I got a question about the continental clean. That's where people have the supinated grip,
Yep.
and
yep,
then they clean it up to their belly, their belt, whatever it is, and then they switch over to a double hand.
yep.
Okay. Uh, is there a reason why, if I feel like my grip strength is strong enough for the weight that we're doing in competition, is there a reason why I should not just train double overhand on that?
Um, though I think in this specific instance, no. Even
Okay.
though I'm usually anti the
Yep.
double overhand, but I will caveat that with the fact that you're going to be doing this on a plastic bar in that
Okay.
tsunami bar. And so
Okay.
it might not be quite as grippy as, I mean,
Okay.
it is that plastic is knurled, but it
Yeah.
is something to consider. Like if you're feeling like I got this 100 times out of 100 times, then yeah,
Yeah.
do it because you're
Yeah.
only doing it for 1 rep. I
Yeah.
usually tell people we to stay away, not to stay away from the double overhand, but like don't rely on it for a competition because like say like last year, there's people asking about that when we did axle for reps.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't want to get to that fifth or sixth rep and then your grip fails you.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then all of a sudden you're struggling. You're like, oh, I got my hands are shot. I got to flip and now I got to go
Uh-huh.
to this.
Okay.
And so that's where I typically am like, yeah, you got to at least train this supinated. But
Okay.
for some, like in this specific instance where you're doing one single tsunami bar, you're probably going to be fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
And it's not
also,
stupid heavy either. That's another
No,
thing. About it. Not
that's what
stupid heavy.
that's why this one
Yeah,
specifically is like you're going to be able to get it to your stomach
Yeah.
yeah.
and not have an issue with it.
well,
But if I decide I have so much fun in this that I'm just going to do strongman from here out, then I need to be training with a supinated grip.
You at
the
least need to
longevity.
like be competent with it
Yeah.
is probably
Yeah.
the bigger thing. If you wanted to, the most of your time train a double overhand grip, so then you're also
Yeah.
getting some grip work
Yeah.
in,
Which is why I do a
then
lot of it. Yeah.
yeah, then absolutely. But like when it comes to comp time, then
Hmm.
you have to train with the way that's probably going to give you the highest chance of success.
Yeah.
Like,
Makes sense.
Well,
I
also with that too, though, with the tsunami bar, if you're pulling double overhand and you start to lose your grip, you might pull it faster than you want to, and it's going to whip in that direction. So if you're, like with a normal clean with like Olympic lifts, a lot of the misses are when it's too far out in front. So if it
Mm.
shoots out in front, you're going to be in the wrong spot to try and actually catch it on your belly.
Okay.
So you might, I don't know. I've never actually used the tsunami bar. I'm just like thinking it through. Jake, does that make
if
sense?
yeah, for the first pull of it, you really don't like you don't notice that whip as much.
Okay.
It's because it's once it settles and then
Yep.
like like a counter force has acted upon it, then it starts creating that reverb. So you wouldn't get the bounce of it
Okay.
until
I wasn't
you
sure on
either.
like that second pull as you're trying to like come up above the belt.
Hmm.
Then
Because
it,
I
how
mean,
heavy is that? How heavy is the tsunami pole? Because we were screwing around
200,
with
isn't
it
it?
at
yeah, off the top of my head, I
I think it
can
was
look it up really quick.
180, I think,
Yeah, I want to
yeah.
say that's right.
but
So
it'll go
Steve,
up.
I
Oh,
did
because
it.
our log's 200.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's
Steve,
right.
I did the tsunami like clean and press
yep.
after not cleaning and pressing for a long time and
Yep.
never touching a tsunami bar. And like from the floor, it's not a big deal.
Yep.
It's just like as soon as you get it onto your chest, like in your
Yep.
front rack position, that oscillation is so hard. And so it's like you almost have
Yeah.
to just let it settle before
Yep.
you can push it. Otherwise, if you don't time it right,
Right.
it's just like
Yeah, it's
timing
done.
it for like clean and jerk, whatever, where
Yep.
you can hopefully get it on the upswing. But when it's oscillating so fast because it's such a long lever, you just have to let it settle and then just be strong enough to be able to calm it down on the way
Can't run.
up. But like
Right.
where you
And,
said,
and that's why
if it was yeah, if it's way out in front of you, you're right. It's gonna throw you, and you're gonna have a bad time. If
yeah.
you
So I'm
if
thinking
you
you're
French
you're
fry when you should have pizza, you're gonna have a bad time.
that's why I was thinking like you're almost better off not being good at cleans
Oh,
because
Yeah,
absolutely.
if
just
you try
muscle
and like
fucking it.
yeah, if you try to like full send or like viper press this thing just because you're proficient, it's like if you're off by that little bit, it's gonna exacerbate the bar path if it's not absolutely
which
perfect.
is what I did, and then I hit my chin and I slammed my teeth together, and I thought I'd chip my front teeth.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
But yeah, like
Eddie, if I may, like
Yep.
another thing about it is like to pile on with what Jake was saying there is somebody asked me the other day in the Discord about training circus dumbbell on both hands,
Yeah.
just one hand or whatever. But you got to be prepared for, like, I taught myself split jerk a year and a half ago because I'm
Yeah.
like, I got some max events, so I'm a push jerk kind of guy. But I'm like, if I'm choked and gassed and I need one more rep, I learned split jerk so I can just kind of like squeeze one out, right? So it's if you never train how to flip your hand, there's
Yeah.
that video I have my very first time doing an axle press. I never touched an axle till they said athlete ready, and I threw it up and I moved my both hands underneath, and I was literally like Ricky Bobby. I had no idea what to do with my hands, man. It was a shit show. But
yes.
if you're prepared to do, you
Both.
know, 6 reps, I'm going to do 6 reps double overhand, and
Yeah.
then that seventh you might be kind of
Yeah.
messed up
Yeah.
and choked a little bit. You got to be prepared for that worst, like the circus dumbbell. Boys, girls, practice both sides, because if
Okay.
you
Okay.
3 reps in, you pop a tendon or something, you're gonna have to switch to the other side, right? So
You know.
Yeah.
So
I think that's just like a good like kind of training life lesson
mhm.
anyways. It's just like be competent more at more things and
yeah,
you'll be able to do more things when you have like that opportunity presents itself or like you're forced into it.
Yeah.
you got to
You
be
know?
ready for shitty day, is what I say.
Yeah.
If you walk in and if everything is gravy and like the guys all the crying about the knurled dumbbell, I love chirping them, or the knurled axle, I love chirping them. It's like, well, yeah, but I'm like, until you walk into a comp and they got an axle like mine, which is smooth as a baby's arse.
Yep.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yep.
that's what you're using, boys. Oh, well, this doesn't have knurling. Oh, well,
Yeah.
Big
you
whoop
know,
de doo.
did you practice with working in the worst possible condition? No. Well, you
Yep.
Yep.
know,
I mean,
But back to so
I know
going
highly
back to
game
your
pros that practice with a sprinkler on. Anyway, yeah.
yeah.
yeah, back to your like circus dumbbell.
Yeah.
Um, are you planning on getting yourself one, or are you gonna try and
Yes. I'm in the
okay?
process of making my
Hell yeah.
first one. Um
He's a, he's a master welder, baby. He's a guy who's going to
so
make
I
them.
No,
I
I
I
like
I got
you
some
should.
let some friends send me some DIY plans, and then I turned it around and sent it out to several of my customers who do welding fabrication. I say, hey, you got any drops of some pipe? And so one company already hooked me up with some. I asked for 10-inch or 12-inch, and so they had some 10-inch in the scrap bin. So I got some 10-inch stainless steel, and they gave me
Mm,
stainless steel handles and like a two. I don't remember if it's 2.5 or 2 3/4 inch pipe that'll fit for the handle as well. So I'll have, it'll definitely be like the smaller, the lighter one. And then
yeah.
they have 12-inch pipe as well. They just hadn't had it cut yet. And so when I finish the first one, then I'll ask them for the parts for the second one. So yeah, so I'm gonna have two of them.
I got
You
to
are
ask
a
for 10.
fancy bitch. Stainless.
Somebody asked
Yeah.
me to give 10-inch pipe one time too. I had to go
And
three
you,
times.
I was gonna say, and that mother went away very disappointed.
Had to go three times.
That's awesome. I'm glad that you're doing that. I can't wait. I love seeing Jonathan's been making
Oh,
Jonathan
dude,
Phillips has
he
been
keeps
Oh
making
sending
yeah,
me him
decent.
on Snapchat.
Yeah.
He keeps sending me
Okay.
all that cool shit on Snapchat, and I'm
Did he
so
did
jealous. I told him, I was like, I want to buy one. I want to buy one of his logs because they're
what?
sweet.
I
He's like, well, he's like, it'd probably be more expensive than one a Titan. I was like, dude, I don't care. I'd rather know the guy that made it and know that it's made a
Much,
lot better
yeah,
than a cheap,
100.
much,
shitty
I
Titan
yeah,
log.
okay. Did he send you the video of the he painted it today?
Yeah, it's sweet.
It's sweet. It's so cool. But yes, I
yeah,
was me and him were talking about that earlier this week about I was like, I think you do need to consider because he's making the two
Couple.
dumbbells.
Yeah, he
eh,
sent one to Jen, didn't he?
yeah,
and he
Yep.
sent one to Jen, made a couple for himself. He's making one for me. He made his own log. And like I was like, you need to actually consider making this into like a side gig, even if it's like just making a
yeah,
One
couple
off.
guys, a couple logs, and a
yep,
couple
yeah,
dumbbells, like, and you don't turn
I'd
it
buy
into
one.
something.
I'd buy one. Bryce would probably buy one. Like,
yeah,
Yeah, and yeah, it just seeing guys like that, like making their own and doing that, I love it because that
yeah.
that's
That's
the
OG,
real.
buddy.
That's exactly that's the OG for
Yep.
sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, so going back to your circus dumbbell question
Hmm.
of
Yep.
um is the probably the my biggest thing is I always say, especially this far out, once you get it, is doing it with both hands
Yes.
and
I've been doing that.
just be well with the dumbbell, Eddie, but um specifically just because like I like Skansit's mentioned like on game day the
Yeah.
your right isn't working great, but at the same
Yep.
time like if you're only focused on your dominant hand with
Yeah.
it, you're gonna get half the amount of reps.
Yeah.
So like say like I love to program circus dumbbell as like a dynamic effort
Okay.
like an EMOM. And so
Okay.
if you're doing like one rep each arm
Mm-hmm.
per like
Minute.
set or yeah
Yeah. Yeah.
per set, like if you're doing 10 sets of two
Okay.
and you're doing one arm per set or versus one arm per set or what
Mm-hmm.
it's 20 reps versus 10 reps. And even
Yep.
if it's on the other arm, you're still learning that and
Yeah.
learning that technique in. And so that's probably my biggest suggestion is like make sure you're utilizing both sides because then you're also getting some strength gains that you're going to need for the
Yeah.
log and the press
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
just general pressing in in general. And but then also like yeah, you're going to be able to learn the technique twice as fast.
Okay. Yeah, I have been doing that. Fortunately, the gym that I go to out by my work when I'm out there traveling, they have everything. I think they have like 4 or 5 circus dumbbells, and they've got a huge pile of sandbags, and they've got a pile of tires outside, and they got everything. So, um,
Yeah.
They
I've
don't
been,
want somebody breaking their sandbags.
Actually, there was one time I used a sandbag and there was a break in it. And I set it aside and like went and got him and said, "Hey, this sandbag needs to be fixed."
Bed
You
tested,
know,
not approved.
yep. um, no, so fortunately I've been doing that. I've just been playing around. They had like I just started last week when I did it. I found one that was like a 65-pound one and just played with it empty.
Yeah.
And then this week my plan is for this next wave of my program on my pressing day, I kind of do my warm up, my movement warm up, my range of motion stuff, and then I'm doing some circus dumbbells as a light kind of warm up, working on the technique, trying to focus on the technique points. Not doing a ton of reps because I don't want to ingrain any super bad habits. I just want to get more familiar with it, more comfortable with it. And then it was fun. They have two of them. One's a 65 and I think it's got a smaller handle. And then they have another one that's a 66-pound, but it's
Sure.
like it's longer, and I think the handle's bigger on it, and it feels distinctly different. Like obviously the
Yeah.
weight feels the same, but the way it moves is different. So I really like that. So I was just doing some of those. I was just doing like 2 to 3 per arm for a few sets, and then I started doing my bench warm up, and I just did my heavy bench, and I moved on to other accessories, and I found some accessories specific to the circus dumbbell online that I really liked. So I'm
Yeah.
kind of doing that, and so I'm doing the same thing with like the clean and press. The tire, I'm not for sure how to break that one down yet. Um, Besides going out to a tire, but I'll work on that one. I don't know if
I mean, you could do like if you wanted to get like angle specific with it, or
mhm.
I think just if your squat's good, you're gonna be,
Yeah,
that's where a lot of that's gonna come from. But like you could push a prowler,
yeah,
and that's
okay.
that's like that initial thing, and that's kind of
I
you're
kind
gonna
of wondered
be,
about that.
because a lot of people get worried that you're like the tire that you're gonna be using your upper body to flip it, and
Yeah,
if you do it
yeah,
correctly, you're not.
yeah,
Your arms are. It's just like a deadlift where your
yeah.
It's
arms are
like a
staying.
There's a little bit of concern. I don't want that happening again.
Yeah, and as long as you're being patient in the pull of it, it's just like a deadlift. Like if you bent your elbows during a deadlift, you'd probably fuck up. Like,
Nailed it.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
and if you treat a tire the same way and just be patient until it
Mm.
gets to that point, and that's you'll be fine with it. And that's where I think
Okay.
like that angle of like the prowler, like where you're kind
So
of
how far
punching
down? How
forward.
close to the ground
Or
on a
or
prowler?
a hack squat is another one.
Well, because like I would think the harder part, because like the initial pick off the ground isn't hard of a tire. It's that like 45
Yeah,
degree
yeah,
angle is where it
yeah,
gets sticky, where it's trying to
yeah.
you're trying to overcome its own inertia, or I'm using probably the wrong physics term, but try to get overcome its own weight to flip it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's where it gets sticky. So
Well, it's that transition, like Jake, between the lower
yeah,
body where you chuck your knee in and suddenly you're just trying to get that
yeah,
Yeah.
arms under versus the pull the arms under. That's it's
yeah,
that
It's almost like
transition.
this is where like I actually really like Olympic lifts for strongman because it's like, oh, if you can just do a clean, it's a clean.
yeah. And that's yeah, I that's where I was trying to think of some other things
Yep.
than cleans, just because, but I'm very pro clean on
Yep.
I have been forcing Andrew Garrison to learn how to power clean, and he hates me so much for it, but um
Well,
it's
it's funny because like I won't do cleans right now, but I've done two weightlifting meets. It's like I'm not against weightlifting, motions. It's just time constraints and stuff like that where
yeah,
I mean, they're a lot of fun when you have time and the ability to do them. But right now, like my garage isn't set up for them.
yeah, yeah.
Um, okay. So I'll study up on prowler. Not the same as a dog sled, because a prowler is lower to the ground, right? Or am I wrong?
Uh,
If the dog
I don't know,
sled's got the
Steven.
long handles, you can just move your hand position down.
Just slide down the handles. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, let's see here. What else? Uh, I mean, like certain things, I'm going to do because of my preference towards conjugate. Like I'm going to do my time under tension days, my heavy days. I'm going to do my repetition days where I focus more on medleys and the dynamic lifts. Like I'm planning on writing my program for that. Um, I don't know. What's a good question to ask? I can't think of anything.
Sure.
You guys hit him with a question while I think about it some more.
I'd say what's a good program for a guy that's new to strongman? I like 5-3-1 with no bench, doing 2 overhead press days.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There's a few novices out there that are. It's like when I see guys that are very new to the sport, like on their initial stages, and they're kind of, well, you see it in powerlifting too. Guys like, oh, I'm doing pause this and all these like unique twists on exercises. Like, dude, just do a fucking deadlift.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just get
You guys,
stronger.
well, I'm gonna do pin presses this or that. I'm like, dude, just do a straight ass clean and press.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
reinforcing technique until you get to that like advanced level where you're trying to find that last 5 to 10%.
Yeah. Yeah.
When in doubt, you know,
Okay.
do clean and presses. Don't bother with the partials or this or that or
So back
just
to the
straight
clean
ass
and
clean and press.
press.
Yeah.
How do you have any recommendations for teaching that to someone who struggles? I mean, I think everyone probably struggles with it when they're learning it, to not use their upper body, to actually just let the lower body drive it. Because my issue in the past, anytime I've tried to learn it, is that if the weight is heavy enough that my upper body doesn't, I just don't try to muscle it up, then I usually end
Mhm.
up jacking up my back. So
Mm.
then it's
Yeah.
like, well, they're like, well, you got to go lighter. And I'm like, yeah, but every time I do that, I just use my arms, So
Sure.
what have you
Yeah.
seen to be effective for that in the past for helping people kind of break that habit or to work their way through developing the patterns?
Yeah, I think an easy way to go about that is just not go from the ground because like
Mhm.
that's where the bar is gonna separate away from your body is on
Okay.
that first pull from the floor to like your knee. And
Okay.
then you try to rush it with your upper body. It's just like an Olympic when you try to teach someone how to power clean
Yeah.
and they try to rush it past going up
Yeah.
their thigh. And so like instead of that, like doing a hang motion or like from a hip and teaching like making that like some kind of contact to come up to here or feeling it along your thigh as it
Okay.
comes up versus starting from the ground because then yes what happens to all of us is
Yeah.
you try to rush it and
Yeah.
I think part of it is also just the fact that it's an axle and it's the larger diameter. It's harder to treat it like a true Olympic lift when you're
Mhm.
pulling from the ground because there has to be a little bit more upper body engagement, especially when your arm is underhand,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
there's just going to be inevitably. But yeah, I think a hang motion can be
Okay.
great to like,
Hang.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, either
teach
a
you
hanger
to
blocks.
pop. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, or even if it was a high crash cushion,
Yep.
that you were putting it on. Because then all you're doing is then teaching the second half, which is where everyone's, typically miss is
Mm.
that knee to hip
Okay. Okay.
portion.
All right.
If I could
And
throw one in there too, that I personally do because I don't have great strength, so I rely on technique for stuff. It's like that old adage of no wasted rep. My warm up weights are where I'm reinforcing my technique.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like that's a very big thing, and so when I get into something that's like really dirty heavy, and you kind of grade out a little bit, and you can't really focus on the fine
Hmm.
motor skills.
You've already
I'm relying
developed
on
it.
those reps that I did at
Hmm. Yeah.
135 or 225 or 315
Yeah.
to kick in. And that's where I think I used to be terrible for just sloppy getting through my warm-ups just to get to the working weights till I realized like shit dude, reinforce your technique on those lower on those lower weights, so you're not shitting the bed when it gets heavy, right? So
Well, and finding like what lifts correlate. So like finding what your front squat is like. You should be able to front squat like 80% of what your high bar back squat is. And if you haven't done a high bar back squat, doing something like that and then seeing how that translates to like as you're learning your clean, it might be only 30 or 40% of your, front squat, but your front squat's going to help you with possibly stones, whatever that is. It's going to help you with staying upright with that tire. It's going to translate a lot more to everything else. So if you learn that clean, it should progress up to 80% of what that front squat is. So just knowing what lifts you're doing, like a low bar squat is useless for learning cleans.
Yeah. So there's another question then, kind of get everyone's opinions on this. Zercher squat or front squat for strongman?
Jake, get in there, buddy.
I want to hear everyone's opinion on it. I even want to hear Paul's opinion.
Yeah, Paul, you're a Zercher aficionado, I feel.
No, I don't do Zerchers. I don't know.
I know.
And like for me, like I'm a good deadlifter. I do front squats. I think that's helped me out. And now I've been doing them with the safety squat bar. I don't know. I think it's better. You're more limited on the actual weight, not just like the amount of pain you can tolerate sitting on your front of your arms. I mean, I think the Zerchers are fine, but if you can get into a better front rack position, especially for doing any type of like clean and press, that's, it just makes way more sense in my mind to do a front squat than it does to do a Zercher.
Yeah. And that's usually that I would what you specifically said about the overhead press is probably like more important than like the actual squat variation is
Mm-hmm.
that carryover of if you can get to an actual true front rack and not
Yep.
like do the bodybuilding style or use straps, if you can get your hands to touch your shoulders in a front rack and not feel like your wrists are gonna explode, like your press is gonna get better and just inevitably because you're not holding it, 2 inches off of your collarbones. It's sitting at your yeah.
This
And
guy.
and so like if you can do that, your press is probably going to be better and it's going to help carry over to other things
Well,
versus like the
especially
search.
where you see that with the pro level too, where you had like what's his name, World Strongest Guy or Nick Canby, all these guys that are massive pressers. It's like they're so proficient at the weightlifting movement because they have a good front rack, and that
Yeah.
translates over so much more when you're undersized compared to like a Thor that can just muscle horsecock 405 or 450.
And I think they both have a plate like Zerchers, like you said,
Yep.
the pain tolerance thing. I think it has a big part to play in being able to do some strongman stuff. But when you really break down a movement, like the front squat is so much better because for strongman at least because it's going to help you with the press. It's going to help you in your deadlift because we've seen that correlation time and
Mm-hmm.
time again of
Yep.
helping your lower back strength. But then also like coming into extension on stones or sandbags, it's a
Right
front
there.
squat. And a
Yep.
Zercher, you can very quickly turn a Zercher squat into a Zercher RDL and still complete the lift, but you
Mm-hmm.
can't do a front squat RDL without dumping
Right.
your
Yeah.
bar.
Yeah.
And so like it teaches you so much upper back and like just proper positioning of driving up into successfully getting a sandbag or a stone or a keg or whatever.
Hmm.
And even just being comfortable with like a log clean because you're used to a front rack, it's going to be a little bit more out front, but because the front rack is so good, you're going to be more
Hmm.
stable to actually be able to press from it.
So I will say this: it's even better, as Jake said, for the stone and the sandbag versus a log, because I find
Yep.
with a log you can be quick and snappy.
Yep.
like from your gut to the clean. I've never done SSB front squats until Jake programmed them in there in the fall. And as soon as he did it, I'm like, these are fucking horrible. But I'm like, you know what? This is exactly what a sitting here with a 300 goddamn pound stone feels like.
Yep.
Yep.
You're just trying to lock in and drive your hips through, like, and not collapse your upper back, right? And I was just like, the first time you had me doing it, I friggin' choked on like, rep 3 and had to dump it a couple of times and all that kind of crap. And then I learned to how I had to lock in my thoracic area and my lower and like drive the hips through. And I'm like, this is a fucking stone
Yeah.
exactly. Like this
Yeah.
is exactly a stone, and a stone is harder than a sandbag. So I'm like, dudes, this is friggin' spot on, man. This is like
Yeah.
why didn't I do this before?
Because they suck. They really
Yeah.
suck.
Oh
I
God, they
yeah.
suck horribly, but like they, I just, again, I as soon as I do one, I'm like, everything about this sucks, but I'm like, this is 100% a payoff. Like it's not
Yeah.
oh, this could be good and whatever. I'm like, put a fucking stone in my lap right now, and I'm gonna smoke a stone. Like, the stone is easy to lap. It's easy to get down, but when you're halfway up, man, and you're trying to pull that little son of a bitch and like
Yep.
drive your hips
Yeah.
up under and through, that is a friggin' SSB front squat to a T.
Okay.
We
All
better
right.
be doing we better be doing 300-pound stones on that friggin' thing. I'm
At
excited. I'm
least.
actually excited to do stones after a couple of cycles of doing that
Yeah.
because I can as soon as I did it, I'm like, oh fuck, this is gonna pay off. Is very one of the very few exercises where I'm like, this is immediately gonna pay off in a specific event, man.
Love
Okay.
it.
All right. I'll add those in.
Eddie, I wanna talk about your I don't know if it I apologize. I haven't caught up to the backlog of half-baked thoughts, but if you
You're
if you
good.
haven't talked about your rope flowing yet,
Oh yeah.
'cause I kind of I want to discuss it because
Yeah.
like there are some far end of the spectrum people that are into the rope flows that you make me go, yeah, that ain't it. And then I see like Juji or like I even
Yeah.
even like I think I follow he's the strength coach for the German volleyball team, and he was
Mm.
having them do it in their warm up the other day, and I was like, okay, couple different people that I
Mhm.
Yep.
find to be somewhat credible. I want to expand upon it a little bit.
Okay. So um I'm definitely on a Juji Mufu kick right now.
Yeah.
I met him a couple years ago at the Elite Fitness Swiss Symposium,
Hmm.
and being super energetic, I actually got to go up and like do some of the stretches up there up front with a couple other guys and stuff. And so I really liked his stuff. I liked his attitude about it, and he's extremely motivating. And part of my personal fitness journey is that I was not physically active when I was younger. So a lot of like, I really like doing the body weight stuff because like the first time I ever did a pull up, I was like 25 or something, maybe 24
Hmm.
before I could actually do a body weight pull up. And like, first time I ever did a body weight dip, I was like 28 and 290 pounds and stuff like that. And like, like I'm that's something I've been working on at home. Is I've got a pull-up bar outside, and all every time I would walk outside I would do a pull-up and things like that,
Mhm.
just so I can get up to doing more. So I see his stuff and I see what he's doing with the flexibility, and I'm like, well, I'd like to do more flexibility. I'd like to do this, I like to do that. And then I picked up one of his programs on Black Friday that was on sale, and I've been doing that one, and I'm coming out of that program now. And just watching his stuff, I saw those rope flow videos, and I was in the last few months, I was doing more bodybuilding style with a buddy of mine, where we would train together. We had very little breaks. Like it was pretty fast, keeping each other going through the workout. We had a lot to get done, and he was on a tight schedule. So we would talk and stuff, but it was basically you catch your breath, and as soon as he's done, I'm getting back in it and going. But with this program, it was pretty common to have 2 to 3 minute rest between the exercises. And I
Hmm.
hadn't had that in quite some time. And so I just wanted something to do besides walking, and
Yeah.
so I looked at the rope flow and I'm like, well, I've got rope. I've got tons of rope. And
And
so
flow.
I got some out, I cut it up, and then that's what I was doing. I would have a timer going for how long to rest, and I was just like watching YouTube videos on how to learn how to do the rope flow, and I like it. I'm definitely keeping it. So far it's been working pretty good for me. I like it because especially like this week, my first day was a press day. It was a heavy press day, and then with all the circus dumbbell stuff I've added into it, my shoulders are like especially hurting. They're very sore. I'm training that upper whatever it is, the backside of my shoulders different than I have in the past.
Mhm.
And so it's like it's hurting a lot. So I'm like, all right, it's sore. So I'm like, well, what helps it recover? Blood flow and motion. So the row flow is really nice for that because even like I've just learned just like three super simple moves that you can learn, in like 5 to 10 minutes. But when I do it, like um like a lot of what I like, there's one where it's like an underhand where you go and like you can do it just very simple, but the idea is to get you to move your body. So when
Yeah.
I'm doing the rope flow now, I'm intentionally trying to move my shoulders and my abs and my sides like as much as I can, like I'm being as over dramatic as possible just to keep my body moving because
Do you
and
feel
then
like
that
that's going to
way
help you throw for Highland Games?
I think it will because overall, I think it is helping my range of motion and like my
Mhm.
Sure.
mobility because it's just like with me getting back into jumping, right? Like we don't start off with me doing, long jumps, me doing like drop jumps. Like we start off with me just like bouncing on my calves, and just like back and forth and just slowly building back up to it because you got to get
Not
the
jumping
tissue.
off of the standard stepper to try and hit high RSI numbers.
Yeah, exactly.
Stop doing
So
that, Steve. Oh God. 3 points of contact. Jeez.
So I
No,
really like it. I've been playing with maces for quite a while.
sure.
I
Yeah.
like those. It's a similar kind of concept, except I'm taking that a little bit further with much, much, much lighter weight and just kind of doing more like continuous repetition. And what I find is, especially when I have the long breaks in between, is I'm still warm and a little like I'm keeping like the sweaty up and the heart rate up, but I'm not wearing myself out and I can still stop at 30 seconds before my next lift and I feel like primed and ready to go. So I'm enjoying it. I'm really looking forward to when it warms up a little bit and I'll be out. I'm going to try to see if I can get my kid to do it with me. He's 8 now. Um, yes, there will definitely be the plastic swords that we have getting involved, trying to get him to do that as well. And like, well, I mean, we're going to have some fun with it. And I'm already been thinking about maybe I need to get a couple of bow staves. Like maybe I can learn how to do that too. And like,
The
because it's like,
the the electronic fencing where it's like when you poke somebody, it like registers like a point or whatever.
oh, okay,
They're
okay,
not crazy expensive, I don't think.
yeah, yeah. See, I've done
Or
that
with a
before
straight
with
sword,
knives.
and when you start bleeding, you got to hit.
Yeah,
Just
exactly, right.
saying. Just saying.
Well, Paul has that sword award, so
There you go. There you
Yeah.
go.
We're gonna cut some motherfuckers. Come
That's what
lift our live easy.
that'll be the next. Yeah, the next stage is Paul's in the shim doing rope floats with his sword.
It's gonna be straight ass
That's
Highlander
right.
work going on,
That's
man.
right.
The Kurgan.
So
I mean, I
with
like
the
it.
rope flow,
Yeah.
stuff, I actually know a guy that is on the uh, British Olympic team for archery. His name is Patrick Houston. I think he still is, but he was into that rope flow stuff for a long time, just for like his shoulder mobility and stuff,
Yeah.
because he
Yeah.
shoots Olympic recurve. So it's really, really hard on your shoulders. And I actually screwed mine up when I was younger, kind of getting ready for like to eventually try out for the Olympics. But he does it all the time. He likes it. He's kind of a kooky dude, but I don't know. It works for him. And I think a lot of things is like if you buy into it and you're consistent with it, I think you're going to get results. It's kind of like any
Yeah.
program. I mean, if you
Yeah.
do anything long enough, it's going to work. And it's like, is it going to get you huge and jacked? No, but that's not the point of it. It's like it's for somebody that is used to sitting doing nothing, and they're like, okay, so now they're standing up they're moving around. It's like, oh, now I'm gonna go screw around outside and want to be. It's like you're just building little wins on top of little wins, and then all of a sudden you're, for a lot of people, if that's how they can get into doing, go for like, oh, I did my shoulder work, man, it's pretty nice outside, I'm going to go for a 10-minute walk. And then it's just like, I think a lot of that shit kind of just like builds on top of it. So that's why I think it's good for everybody to get into something, even if it's kind of like a little gimmicky right away. If you get some good results and you just feel better, I don't think it's bad.
It's subjectively, it makes you feel good, and objectively, it doesn't detract from your training.
Yep.
Right.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah. And that's why I wanted to hear like someone other than like a influencer who
Athlete
like a
X
GG,
or something, or
or like, well,
knees
the
over
one that
toes.
like the far other side of the spectrum is like, I don't, if you know who David Weck is,
Oh
but
yeah, the Weck method.
the guy that made the Bosu ball, like he
If you
there's
just
some things he
borrow
talks.
300, if you just borrow $300,000 from your dad, you too can invent the Bosu ball.
And like he's like the far side of the spectrum where he's like talking about, like he makes it sound like the rope flows, and like he makes these like little hand things that have like springs in, like weighted springs that you like run around with. And so like he, like when someone like him talks about it, he basically makes it sound like he, sees into the fourth dimension and he figured out how to cure cancer while he did it. And so then like you to see someone else like one of our average Joes, or a normal person, Eddie, that is doing it. I'm like, okay, like I want to understand what
I don't know
brought
if
you
I've
to
ever
this.
heard those words in the same sentence before.
Yeah, I didn't mean to say like you're an average Joe, but like
A
you're one
normal
of us.
person.
You're not
normal
Juji.
now.
Yeah,
Wow.
you're
Straight
not
dude.
Juji with 5 million followers, or David Weck who's crazy. Like
I mean,
trying to.
it's and the same thing goes for like yoga. Like, I don't know if you guys ever done yoga. Like for a long time, I was like, I'm never doing that. That looks stupid, or that's like weak, or like for people who don't want to exercise and get strong.
Yoga's
And then
awesome.
I actually tried it, and I was like, this is incredible. Like
until
the
you're
way you can
15 minutes
feel.
you're 15 minutes into a yoga class and some 65-year-old lady is there just like a rock and you're shaking, sweating like, oh, I'm gonna die.
Yep.
Yeah, and I wholeheartedly agree with that. But like as a person that's in charge of group fitness, and like I got Pilates reformer certified, back in August. So like,
nice.
I totally am. I get that aspect of it. If you haven't tried some of that stuff, but then also like for those people, like if whatever's gonna get you through the door into doing physical activity, absolutely.
Like a vibration plate.
Yeah. Yeah.
That chick is probably still waiting to see if Tanner's got a fucking vibration thing going on, man.
Me and Bryce
have one.
send him vibration plates all the time.
I send him all the same.
Hold on, boys. Hold on.
Eddie used mine.
See, the thing you got to watch out with yoga is funny. I was doing it for a while, and I came home one day and I told Lydia how the teacher said that I have the best. It was the Raven pose. And so I'm like, I won yoga. And she's like, it's not competitive. I'm like, I know it's not competitive because she said I have the best one. So it's not competitive. She's like, fuck, that's not the purpose of yoga. I'm like, I won yoga. So
wait, hang on. Are you Rambo? Company calling Raven.
Basically, yeah, that's it.
So you see the sand dune stepper.
Yeah.
We have the newest addition to the home gym setup.
He's locked in.
My wife found this on Facebook Marketplace. And it was the same guy was selling a headboard that we needed for our bed. And so this thing is like, I actually have not done much with it yet. I've been gone all week. But I'm going to play with it this week. And it actually like syncs up to Bluetooth or something and does who knows what kind of stuff. She said it was like originally like $100 model. So, we're going to start using it and see what it can do.
There you go.
It's pretty cool when you can get two things for the bedroom in one trip.
Yeah, it could be like the old school plug-in beds where you put a quarter in the hotel beds and they vibrate. You could throw that underneath.
It loosens you up.
It better be. All right, I'm gonna pause real quick. I'm gonna use the restroom. I think you guys all needed to know that, but now you know.
Now everybody knows that.
Take this with you, man. It's okay.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna sit down like Dodds, you know.
Oh shit. Waiting on strongman questions to get back, Eddie. Eddie.
He's got so many questions.
I did.
Scants, you
I
want
do have
to
a.
Scants, let's
I
talk
do have a
about rocks
strongman
right
question.
now.
Let's talk. Yeah, Jesus. Okay, so 5 stones all total. I'm anticipating 3 natural. I'm anticipating 2 natural, 3 atlas. I just keep throwing all these fucking wild stories out because I like to see see Keith jacked up like Chris Farley on the bus. So, oh, you
Yeah,
didn't know? Yeah,
Oh, Scants,
1
you
natural.
don't know what you don't know the Stones? Jake told me a long time ago.
I'm just waiting for him to accidentally release it in a video.
I'm doing my best, guys. I'm doing my best.
as, as I said, you guys know when I like a video, I've watched it. I don't just roll through. Oh, somebody posted something, I'll just hit a like button on it. I watch your shit.
I with those
We're
kegs
watching you.
last year, those kegs last year were such a pain in my ass because I had them in my garage for so long where I had to like
Hide them.
maneuver and like crop videos
Oh
of
yeah.
my training when I would
Yeah.
post it because I would have to make sure that no one saw that there was like this because I had
Why
like
didn't
a
you just
couple
put
in my
why didn't you just put a sheet over the top of them?
because they were like they were in
That makes too
well
much
we were
sense, Paul.
well, no we were in the process of like painting them and stuff so I had to
Yeah,
like
you could take the sheet off. You just
Trick
put it
is
over
you put
when
a
you're
sheet
training
on
and then
something on the other corner of the gym.
Well,
So everybody's like,
yeah
oh, you got some kegs over there, but what are you hiding over there? Well, nothing. Yeah, but you're
well
hiding
hide it
something. No, I'm
because
not
I
hiding
well,
anything.
even
hide it
putting
in
a
plain
sheet
sight.
Paul.
if
Then
I
it would
put a
look too
sheet
much
over
like a
it
ghost, and
I'll
he'd get
have
scared.
someone like
Yeah.
scans like zooming in on the picture and like
Yeah.
figuring out the indentations and
Oh yeah.
So here's the story, boys, in case you don't realize there last year, at one point, Jake posted up a video. There was a bunch of the boys come over to the house for a training session, and somebody was doing keg runs. And it was like a 10 or 12 slide deck bunch of videos, and I'm watching. I like watching the boys doing training. And at one point, I hear somebody say, "So is that the weight for the lift hard, live easy?" And Jake said, "No, we're gonna do this for like." He just said some
yeah
comment about we're gonna do this to lift hard. So I just shoot him a message. I'm like, "So now we know we're doing keg loading. Any idea on the weights?" And he's like, "How the fuck did you know that?" Like, because
yeah
I watch your videos, dude, man. He's like, shit, he deleted the videos.
Oh.
absolutely
I'm
well
pretty sure Jake told me a long time before the Lift Hard Live Easy that there was like what he was doing. The
yeah
first year of the strongman, when I was training with Tommy over at Bryce's, he told me about the shield carry, the South Dakota shield carry. So I
Yeah,
knew all
yeah.
that stuff way before. Just pays to be connected.
Yeah, but you know what? It's
be
kind
a
of funny
South
because
Dakota boy
it never matters because you still got to go and do it.
yep
That's the one, like the guys talking about, they're all concerned and jacked about stones and this and that. I'm like, just get good at picking up fucking heavy
Yep.
shit in front of you, man.
Yep.
that's why I
Just
like
get just get
that's why I
stronger.
liked the shield so much because like no one had a clue of that like some people figured out the keg one on their even on their own they
Yeah.
figured it out or through the
You mean
rumor
like
mill people
when everyone you were coaching started doing keg events in their training?
no because I Scance was the only person because he found that video was the only person I
Oh,
ever programmed.
oh,
Everyone
really?
else,
Yeah.
like it was, I think it was from Jenna Lee. She either
Okay.
got told at the gym or something, and then it got spread through the group.
Okay.
Because I would specifically, all those prep crew, I was like, it's mystery carry. I'm gonna program it as sandbags. If you would like to use something else, you absolutely can.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. Okay.
Uh, but that shield, like when we did that one,
Yeah.
like everyone, no one had any idea, and then they walked up and were like, "Huh, well, fuck. Like, what do I do with that? That looks nothing like a Husavell."
Yeah.
I'm glad I pulled out of that year, man. That was the one event that, in retrospect, looking at it, I would have done I would have done middle of the pack with the other 3 events, but I'm like, That thing is too big for my little T-Rex arms, man. I'm too tiny for that son of a bitch. I'm watching
I'm
Tanner
just
and
a
these
little
giant
guy. I'm just
orangutan
a little
guys
guy.
struggling with it.
So speaking of your first strongman announcer and now your second strongman announcer are now both competing. You got anyone lined up yet for
Ooh.
We're doing it, but we're handing off the mic, Ed.
Okay, that's fine.
I like the idea that Paul gets up there and does it.
Could
Ooh.
you imagine that? 'Cause I
I
can't. I honestly can't.
You know, we should have somebody that knows nothing about the sport pull somebody out of the audience. So they're going to
Me.
pick up this
Just
like,
rotate
"Oh, shit,
events.
okay.
look at that guy."
I have been at competitions like that, Scans. Like one of the fairs, either the state fair, not the state fair, but the Brown County Fair ones that
Yeah.
Tanner and Tommy used to put on. We had a guy like that had not a clue. He just knew our names. And I like there's the ones I usually do in Fargo. The first couple years they just had like a radio guy come and
Yeah. Yeah.
do it and
Oh yeah.
didn't
Yep.
have a clue of that. But yeah, it's
We
hard
could pass
because
it.
with opening up strongman to so many more people, like now everyone that's like associated with strongman is actually doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can't like I'm probably gonna run out of space with volunteers and like needing an MC like that just because like
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it yet about volunteers or anything. We'll figure that
We'll
all
figure
out.
it out.
Yep.
Well, you know
Yeah,
that
I'm
Scance
not
and I
worried
are
about it.
both hunting
Well,
for who, for someone that we think that we can recommend.
and there's no doubt
I
I'm going to have
mean,
4 cycles of injuries between now and then. So I'm
Just
going to have a fucking tendon or something blown 6 days out. So
get Bryce to
if
do
it
it.
comes down to it, I'll do it, but I'm gonna do it shirtless.
That's fine.
Steal.
actually, you know,
Gotta
what'd be funny? You and Bryce doing it.
Yeah, the two
Yeah.
of
That's
you
what
doing
I'm
it would
thinking. That'd be
great.
good.
Yeah. Well, realistically, he's both know. Well, the first year they did it, I remember asking Jake, was Gino going to do the announcing? Because if he was, if you were stuck, basically, I said, I'll do the color. I'll do what Jerry
Yeah.
Pritchard does at the Rogue. You know, they get like these rogue announcers that don't know anything about strongman,
Yeah.
but they are like that radio guy. They can announce. But then you get Jerry Pritchard in there. All right, this is what you need to do in this event, and you're going to watch for this, and like the color commentary kind of guy, right? So, but yeah, you put you and Bryce in there, buddy. Be sweet.
Just
I like
two
that
color
idea.
commenters.
Yeah, critiquing our outfits and shit like that.
Paul, you have to do it in blackface.
Oh, good.
Again, what are you,
So
the
both.
prime minister of Canada? You can only get away with that 6 times, right? So,
Right.
I've got 2 more to go, then I'm good to go.
since Tuesday.
Well, yeah.
Oh my gosh. That'd be too funny. Oh man. I'm thinking like a bunch of us show up blackface. The Ned does powerlifting cold. That is not a cold.
No. It's okay if you guys all show up as Justin Trudeau as blackface. It's so fine.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not in blackface.
Yeah, no,
I'm
I'm
Justin
not-
Trudeau.
Yeah,
While
I'm not
he's
the
in
asshole,
blackface.
he is.
There's layers. There's layers. You wouldn't understand. It's nuanced.
You guys are giving me cardiac arrest.
What happened to Scance? Oh, he got arrested in Canada for talking about Justin Trudeau.
just shit that we used to do way back in the day. It is so not
Kosher? Oh, wait.
it is,
am I
it
allowed
is
to say
not
that?
fucking good.
That might be
Hey.
anti-something.
Robert Downey Jr. said you could still do blackface. Nobody does it.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
I might get if I'm gonna strongman announce, I'm gonna pay to get a spray tan because I'm the best man in Bryce's wedding the next weekend.
Oh
So
yeah.
it'd be nice to have a good base.
I'm still trying to
tan.
figure out how to stretch that week out to stay the extra week. How are we doing that, Ed?
Actually, there has been some developments in that.
Oh.
Shit
So
talking goose.
that's why we talk every 2 weeks.
Am I going to be out of Canada for 2 weeks?
So I told you how my brother's on the way out,
Yeah.
and we drove right past him without even knowing it.
Yep.
So he had said something to me about if we wanted to come out and spend like a week or something or a few days because they live right on the lake. And I'm like, so I'm talking to Steph about it. And she's like, oh, that'd be cool. Like we could come out. We could do like the family trip thing. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, that could work out because there's actually a wedding the weekend after the meet. And we were kind of joking about like trying to like stay for it and stuff. And she was like, okay, like so then it kind of evolved in this thing of like, well, you guys just fly into the Twin Cities and I'll come pick you up like after the Lift Hard Live Easy. We'll go to my brother's. And she's like, no, we'll just carpool out with you. And I'm like, nah. You guys don't want to carpool with me and Scance and Andrew. Like, you just fly out and I'll come get you later.
Is Andrew coming this year?
Huh?
Is Andrew coming this year?
He signed up.
Oh,
Fuck
awesome.
around with that stupid work. Oh, I got work. Fuck work.
Hey.
Priorities.
I'm a high-powered New York City lawyer. Ooh.
Ooh, look at me doing stuff legal.
I have a
Scales
career.
of justice. Whatever, dude.
He is signed up, so we'll see.
You know
how
what,
it
dude?
goes.
Just plead guilty. They'll give you 3 years. Take it. Just go. Just go.
Get out of here.
That's what I do.
So that's kind of so it was funny because it very quickly turned into me avoiding her getting mad at me because I was basically like, well, you can come along for my other vacation if you want.
Dude, we're not
So-
vacationing. We're working, man.
Yeah, and that's what. So Steph's like, well, what's Scant's gonna do? And I'm like, he'll come with us. He'll come hang at my brother's house with us. Why wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Like,
There, I'll visit. Oh my God.
yeah,
It's his family.
we'll have a great time.
I'll go to Brookings.
Yeah,
There you go.
I'll do a gym tour at Jake's. I'll do a
Yeah.
gym tour at Nate Mo's. I'll head her down to the gym.
I keep joking. I keep.
You could probably
saying it.
just live at Nate's house for a day and no one would even notice.
No.
Yeah.
I mean,
Quite literally, nobody would know. How many times? Who was it? Florian coming up talking to him at Tanner's place about tactics for knee wrapping him the next day, and Nate's like, "What are you talking about? Aren't you wrapping my knees tomorrow? You said you would."
There's nothing funnier than when David Hunter was handing out those koozies and he thought he was handing it to you and he had like a note with it. And I went and took it away from Nate and was like, this isn't for you. And gave it back to David and was like, try again, please.
that is too funny.
God damn it. I thought that was knew it wasn't Scans.
Oh my
Wait
God!
a minute. Wait a minute. I didn't do a hard cath on Scance? That's what I thought I did.
Oh yeah, sorry. There's a couple moms involved. It was all good. Don't worry about it.
Wait, Skins. Do you want Tanner to tell his mom that you said hi?
Tanner, tell Kathy I said hello.
Usually, I think the communication usually goes the other way. But Tanner's
Oh, yeah.
mom is telling him Scant said hi.
We had 36 views per episode. I'm pretty sure one of them is Tanner's mom because of Scants.
Probably.
How the fuck do we have 36 episodes? Or 36 views, man?
I have no idea.
Now, personally, I watch it 30 times, so just for context. With my tinnitus, I have to listen to a podcast at night to go to sleep. I can't.
That's right, you do.
I have to listen to I have to have noise in my ears.
Yep.
So I fall asleep with 5 minutes of listening to something, and I wake up in the middle of the night with something else, and so. But I did wake up. It was kind of weird waking up to us yapping there a couple nights ago. What the fuck's going on? Oh, okay.
I hear myself in my sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be concerned. I don't know if I could do
That's a
that,
weird,
especially
that's a
if it was
weird
my
kind
own
of
voice.
masturbation.
Oh yeah. Well,
a
no,
weird
I
kind
don't
of
go to sleep
masturbation.
listening to this. I just I usually go to sleep listening to like Dan John or something like that. Something that's very low key and mellow.
Yeah.
But
Oh, that's funny.
Well, boys, my headphone's about to die, so I figure it's time for me to kick it and
Yep. we'll hit the
All right.
record button and end this.
What
We
other
always go
strongman
on
questions, Ed?
cliffhangers.